This crash took just 38 seconds. Not enough time to send a second mayday. Not enough time for 242 people on board to escape. But we still don't know what caused it. And this wasn't just any aging aircraft. This was a Dreamliner, Boeing's pride. A plane with no fatal crashes. That's until now. In the days that followed, Boeing aircraft started making headlines. Snags, cancellations, unexplained failures. An Air India flight from Hong Kong to Delhi, technical snag. Another flight from San Francisco to Kolkata, issue in the left engine. Delhi-Ranchi Air India Express flight, suspected technical problems. Another Dreamliner, the same Ahmedabad-London route as the crash, was cancelled. First cited as a technical issue, Air India later attributed it to aircraft unavailability. That's 4 incidents in just a few days, and all of them involving Boeing. Many experts argue that this crash didn't happen in isolation. They've been warning about it for many years now. Like John Barnett. He worked at Boeing for nearly 30 years. He'd warned that there were some serious issues. In 2024, while his whistleblower case was open, he was found dead. Police called it suicide, but his family blames Boeing. Now, after 290 people died in the Ahmedabad crash, Barnett's warnings are back in focus. This isn't just about one aircraft. It's about what happens when a system built on trust starts to crack. When those meant to protect passengers instead protect power. So I'm going to walk you through it all. What went wrong, tell you what warnings people like Barnett gave, and why India just cannot afford to look away. Let me explain. It shouldn't take a tragedy to make us question the safety of systems we trust. At the News Minute, we believe this story isn't just about one crash, it's about every passenger, every flight, and the powerful institutions that are meant to keep us safe. If you believe corporations, regulators, and governments must be held accountable, then stand with us. Support our work as we ask tough questions they'd rather ignore. Because you deserve safer skies and stronger journalism. So do become a subscriber of the News Minute and News Laundry. Scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description below. Don't forget to follow our WhatsApp channel, and the new episode of Let Me Explain drops every Saturday. The death toll involving the Ahmedabad crash now stands at least 290. We'll know the exact cause once investigators retrieve the black boxes. That process could take months. My colleague Cora has explained what the black box means. Do watch that episode of Shortcut, and the link is in the description. The DGCA, that's India's top aviation regulator, along with the US and UK authorities, launched a formal investigation, and they've ordered a full inspection of Air India's Boeing 787 fleet. So far, the DGCA says the aircraft and maintenance systems are safe. But it flagged lapses in maintenance and asked Air India to clean up its internal systems. This clean chit apart, the accident is a serious blow to Boeing. Air India currently operates 33 Dreamliners. Since the crash, 66 flights using these aircrafts have been cancelled. The Dreamliner had a clean sheet until now. Yes, there were some early hiccups, battery fires, production delays, but no fatal crashes. The cracks in Boeing's reputation didn't start with the Air India crash. It goes back at least to 2018 when a Lion Air 737 MAX crashed due to a software glitch. Then just months later, an Ethiopian Airlines MAX went down. Same model, same issue. 346 people lost their lives. Now fast forward to Jan 2024. A door plug blew out mid-air on Alaska Airlines. A literal hole in the aircraft. And now the Dreamliner joins that list. For those paying attention, this wasn't a surprise because the red flags were already flying, raised by people who built these planes. John Barnett, a veteran quality manager at Boeing, had warned that emergency oxygen systems on Dreamliners could fail 1 every 4 times. He'd also alleged that scrap or defective parts were being installed just to meet deadlines. In 2024, while his whistleblower case was still open, he was found dead from a gunshot wound. Police say it was a case of suicide, but his family has refuted this. Then there's Sam Saliper, an engineer who testified to the US Senate. He said Boeing was forcing misaligned fuselage parts together on 787 and 777. He said that these could cause tiny cracks that could get worse over time. After he spoke up, he was iced out, reassigned, sidelined. And if you go further back, that's to 2006, Vince Weldon, another aerospace engineer, warned about the Dreamliner's carbon fiber body. He said it could shatter in a crash, degrade over time, and release toxic fumes in a fire. He was fired. None of these warnings were taken seriously. There's also the issue of how Boeing is regulated. The FAA, the US Aviation Authority, allows Boeing to self-certify many of its own parts. It's a system that whistleblowers say has enabled serious misconduct. Of 97 complaints filed with the US Office of Special Counsel against Boeing or FAA, only one led to action. And this is since 2007. So now, when Boeing promises it's serious about safety, it's a hard sell. The US Justice Department recently entered into a deal with Boeing. The company will invest $1.1 billion in safety improvements and victim compensation. But it also admitted to obstructing FAA oversight. Boeing's former CEO, Dave Calhoun, resigned in the wake of the Alaskan Airlines crash. At a Senate hearing before he stepped down, Calhoun admitted that whistleblowers had been retaliated against. But he insisted that Boeing encourages a speak-up culture. Now his replacement, Kelly Ortberg, who was brought out of retirement to clean up the mess, is once again in damage control mode. So far, all the company has said is that it's supporting the investigation. Let's now talk about Air India. This plane was delivered to India in Jan 2014. It's flown over 41,000 hours. And it was a part of Air India's effort to modernize its long-haul fleet. The Tata Group took over the airlines in 2022 and placed a huge order in 2024. Now, 220 airlines from Boeing, and this includes 20 Dreamliners. This crash is a gut punch. Air India has seen tragedy before. Kozhikode in 2020, Mangaluru in 2010. But this one hits differently, because it doesn't just expose one airline's failure, it forces India to reckon with its aviation oversight. India, like many other countries, relies on the FAA for aircraft certifications. But after the 737 MAX disasters, countries like China and those in the EU developed their own certification processes. India still hasn't. The DGCA simply lacks the manpower and the independence needed to keep up. The International Civil Aviation Organization flagged this in 2022. Accident investigation was one of India's weakest areas, which is 36% compliance. Other countries acted fast after plane crashes, like Indonesia, which grounded its 737 MAX fleet within 48 hours. Ethiopia launched an independent investigation and brought in global experts. China grounded the MAX before any other country. India, on the other hand, still waits for foreign authorities to take the lead. And here's the kicker. Within 48 hours of the June 12th crash, 5 Dreamliners faced technical issues around the world. And this includes one more Air India flight and a British Airways one. So what does all this tell us? That this isn't just about one plane or one airline or even one company. It's about an entire system that's grown too big, too cozy, and too unaccountable. Look, today almost every commercial aircraft flying around the world is made by just 2 companies, Boeing and Airbus. meaning there's virtually no competition, no real alternatives, and no real pressure to do better. It wasn't always like this. In the past, there were several serious players, but over the decades, mergers, bankruptcies, and government-backed deals wiped them out. When Boeing bought out McDonnell Douglas in 1997, it took out its last major American rival. Now, between Boeing and Airbus, they split every major aircraft order on the planet. And that's why moments like this crash is so critical. Because they don't just raise questions about a single manufacturer, they reveal the cracks in a system that has too few checks, too little oversight, and way too much at stake. Look, flying is still statistically safe, but trust, that's harder to keep in the air.